Flosstube. My name's Debbie. I'm MamaBearStitchery here on Flosstube and on Instagram, and this is the channel about cross stitch. Firstly, thank you for being here. There's a lot going on in the world right now, and I really appreciate you coming to see my stitching, and hopefully there's something you like. Today's going to be my June update. I can't believe I'm saying June already. That's halfway through the year. Yeah, I thought I didn't have much to show you until I started putting the pile together and making the before photos. June's been a month. I thought I would have all the stitchy time once my kids finished online distance learning on the 10th, but the universe had another plan, and on the 11th I woke up and I couldn't walk. I'd been ignoring ankle pain for a while now, and I was thinking one crisis at a time, like just one thing at a time, and the 11th it sort of decided to give out. And so I managed to see the surgeon who operated on my foot before and fixed some tendons, because their offices had just opened back up, and he did x-rays and an MRI, and here we are. I have surgery tomorrow on the 1st for a complete lateral ligament reconstruction, so I'm going to be off my foot for a while. So I hopefully will be able to get lots of stitching in this month, but unfortunately I won't be able to drive or go anywhere. But it is what it is. It's probably the best time given my kids are off, we're still shelter in place, my husband's home, so if it was going to happen any time, I suppose this is it. But I do have some projects to show you, because with the surgery looming over, it kind of felt like I couldn't settle to stitch, and I did a lot of bobbinating. I kitted up 3 heaven and earth designs and watched a lot of TV and movies, but I must have stitched because I have a lot. I worked on 9 projects and 3 of them are finishes, so that's probably a good place to start. The first one is Stitch by Aurora Cross Stitch on Etsy, and everything that's linkable I will link below. I'm trying to up my description box game. I have the tech skills of a squirrel, so I am going to try this time and make it much more accessible. But here is my before picture of Stitch, right here. And here is my finish. And he is stitched on 28 count Caribbean Tights by Under the Sea fabric. And that's is that a Juglin or Lugana? Lugana. And hopefully the light is good. I've borrowed my daughter Elena's bedroom today. The sun's shifting all over the place and reflecting. You can see it on my glasses, but this is the best I've got. And that is him. I can't wait to frame him. Like maybe when I can drive again. My next finish was also a start this month, and it is my first chart from Hello from Liz Matthews, and it is called Stick with Love. And this is a PDF that's only available from her Etsy shop, and I'll link that below. And all the proceeds go to the George Floyd protest bail funds. And I don't know how long that one's available for. But I did start this one this month, and this was a nice quick stitch. My kids went back to karate this month, and yeah, I took this one in the car, so this was an easy stitch. And that's on 32 count Lugana in the colour, can you see that? The colour Marina by Colour and Cotton. I had a look on her website because I wanted to order more, but I must have got this one in a Floss of the Month club, because it wasn't one of her regular line of colours, but it's beautiful. It goes from a turquoise to a sky blue, so hopefully it does make it into the main line. I don't know if you can see this back to front because it's back to front for me, but hopefully you get the gist. It says, I have decided to stick with love, MLK. My next one was a whip, and it's not a complete finish, but it's a page finish, so I'm counting it. And it is Endurance by Arden Ellen Nixon, and it's a Heaven and Earth Designs chart. It's a no background, and here is where the page was before. And here is my first page finish. And this chart kind of feels like it uses every single shade of DMC grey. And this is one of the ones that I actually kitted up this month and bobbinated. It's just easier to work from. the charts like own threads rather than from like the master set, because we're constantly changing with all the confetti stitches. And this is his eye and the start of his ear and his mane. And it looked like a whole lot of nothing until the page was finished and it came together. But I'm looking forward to getting back to this one. And this one is on 25 count 1/1 full cross. And I really like the 25 count. I usually stitch on 28, but I might be a convert to 25. And that is that one. My next, now we're on whips. That was all my finishes for the month. My next whip is Pretty Little Tokyo by Satsuma Street. And here is where I was before. And here is where I am now. Look at this side. And I got quite a lot of this one done. I used this one for a lot of homework prompts and magical stitches this month. And this is on 28 count Dove Grey Monaco. And this one, I don't want to make plans because my plans seem to go out the window. But I really hope I can finish this one this month. There's not that much to do. It's big like mountain and stuff. It's big, just big chunks of colour. So this will be a good one to pick up. So no promises, but I'm hoping to finish that one this month. My next one is All Souls Veer Landing by Quiltify Designs. It's another Etsy chart. And here is where I was before. And here I am now. And this one I'm stitching using Gentle Art thread Lagoon. And this is 40 count Selkie 1/2. And Lagoon's a weird colour. It goes from like green to like dark greens to golden yellows. It's one of my favourite Gentle Arts now. And this one you can see I'm at the W, so I've not got far to go to get to the end. And this is one that I picked up to work on today. It's easy to work on just with one thread, no colour change. And I've still got quite a lot of the fabric left. So this is one of my favourite under the sea fabrics, so I'm glad I've got a big chunk of this one left. And that's that. My next whip is Pop-Up Shops. I think this is, oh, here it's here. Pop-Up Shops or Pop-Up Stores #2 by Soda Stitch. And I'm just working on the coffee shop just now. And here's where I was before. And here is where I am now. And this is on 32 count Lugana in the grey petty point. I just got it from 123 Stitch. And this chart is deceptively a lot of stitches. The whole background's stitched the white. I thought this one would go a lot faster than it is going, but I do love it, especially now that I've put some of the back stitch in. So this one's staying on the Q Snap too for this month. I really want to work more on that one. And in fact, I've lined it up for one of the Magical Stitches homework prompts for this week already. My next whip is, we're getting through the pile. My next whip is Inquisitive. It's Heaven and Earth Designs Charts by Sandra Cuck. And I started this one for the Midsummer Night's Dream event that was in Full Coverage Fanatics. And that's this one. I'll probably insert better pictures because our printer's running out of ink and my husband refuses to change it until it completely runs out, because it has been threatening for about 4 months and it still prints. So that's that one. And I'm working, page 1 is just up here, it's back to front, just at the top of this door. And I just worked on this one for that weekend. I just watched TV and movies, and you can see that. Excuse the spreads, I'm experimenting with learning how to do parking and a mixture of cross country, but you can see this is just the top corner of that doorway. Can't really see much of anything right now, but this one might come out next month for another Full Coverage Fanatics event, which is bingo, which I'll get to in a minute. Next project is Renaissance Mermaid by Mirabella, and here is where I was before. Oh, and sorry, this one is actually on 28 count and I'm doing this one 10 stitch. And back to Mermaid. This is Renaissance Mermaid by Mirabella. I showed you where it was before. And that is her now. And this is on 32 count joglin in the colour Incoming Storm by Under the Sea Fabrics. I love this fabric. It's like a robin's egg blue with like grey splotches through it. That's pretty much what it's like there. And I worked on She Has So Much Hair, but I wanted to get her face put in this month. And that is her. And normally something like this I would work on like down her body, maybe to her tail before I put her away. But I joined the Facebook group No New Starts 2021. It's put together by some of the lovely ladies from Virtual Stitchers. And I have a bunch of things I want to start before the end of the year. So now that I've taken her off the Q-snap, it's easier to say, you can go away just now till I start some other things and then I'll pull you back out. So I really do want to finish her. She's one of my favourite mermaids. I think she has one of the prettiest faces. But there are things I want to start, and so that's the hard thing. It's like I want to finish things, but I want to start things. So that's why I probably knew New Starts is good for me. But you can check the Facebook group out. I think this is the last one. This is the last whip. It was also a New Start, and this is Pandemic by Long Dog Samplers. This was a free chart she gave away for a little while. It's so grateful to her that she did that. I love this one. And I just made a little start on this. I'm stitching it on 25 count, easy count, 1/1 full cross. And I just made a little start in the corner. And I love that one. I just picked a bunch of colours that I actually like, and I'm using DMC 920, 823, 915 and 937, and they're kind of tucked. They're tucked in here. The green's trying to make an escape. And I have no idea where I'm using the colours. I'm just trying to colour balance like as I go and work across the pages. You can see that it's all sort of gem tones. And I love this one. So I'm just going to try and pick this one up whenever I can. And like all the long dogs, just work through them one bit at a time. But I love seeing, there's a group, the Pandemic Stitch Along group, if you search for it on Facebook, or go to the Long Dog page, somebody will have posted a link there, and I'll link it below. Some of the colour combinations people are picking are amazing. And that's us on to plans. We got through that quite fast. July, plans are firstly get a new function ankle, and then hopefully be able to stitch because I'm going to be off my foot for a while. But I do plan to participate in, hopefully, the Full Coverage Fanatic group are having a bingo event. And if you go to their Facebook page, you can print off the bingo card and you can do counting or non-counting, and I'm doing counting. And you have to do 1,000 stitches or 2,010 stitches to mark off your square. And I've put, you can see, I've put in what projects I plan to use on each square. But my first task, I think, well, I'm going small first. I'm just going to go one line first. I'm going to go across the middle. And so the first project is something to do with fairies, and that's going to be a new start. I've had this chart in my stash for ages. We like Jasmine Beckett Griffith artwork, and we've got a lot of her prints actually from her store, and so I've got quite a few of her charts. And this is a nice little one. It's Faces of Fairies 74, and I actually thought I hadn't printed out the entire chart because it's only 4 pages and 2 of them aren't even full, and she actually fits on this tiny little piece of 25 count easy count. This I think I got as a scrap test piece to first see what 25 count was like. I can't believe she fits on it. So that's my plan for her, is for fairies. The next block, well, this project I'm going to use for 2 blocks on the bingo card, and it is Stitcher's Choice and Trees. And this is my oldest whip. This is Black Bear Country by Custom Crafts. And when I got this chart, I didn't know anything about coverage. This was my first venture outside of dimensions kits, and so I bought ordered all the threads and the fabric just as it said in the book. And yeah, knowing now, I'd probably pick a higher count, but I pulled it out. I can't believe how far I was into this. So I'm really going to try and finish this one this year. It was put away for the longest time because when one of my kids were little, well, you can see it first, it's huge. And I call him Mr. Bumble. I don't know if you can see the whole thing because I can't see you. I put away for the longest time because one of my kids, you can't even see it now, it's tiny. They dropped my scissors through it when it was on the Q-snap, and I thought it was done, that I would never be able to repair it. But now I know I can just put a little patch of Ada behind it and stitch over the top of it, because not even many of the threads have come out. It's a clean cut. So I only have 3.5 pages left on him, and they're not even big pages. So definitely going to use him for the bingo event and hopefully finish him this year. And that's him. But yeah, I didn't know about coverage, and you can kind of see like close up that he is a little bit patchy given that he's dark colours, and this is 14 count Ada because that's what the book told me to get. But he's not that bad. I've even considered restarting him, but he's not bad at all. And stitch on what you want. So he's for 2 blocks, and the last one is for the last 2 blocks in that line, which are, my sheet just fell, are for something holiday themed like Christmas or Halloween and buildings. And so I am going to use this project. It's a dimensions kit and it's called Winter Cabin. And you can see there is a building and there is a Christmas tree with lights on it, and there's another one down here. So that is what I'm going to be using. And here is where and this one's going to take a bit more counting because, like a lot of the full coverage dimensions kit, they use a mixture of half stitches and full stitches to give the effect. So that's where I am now. I think I might work along through the cabin before coming down the way. But that one will take a little bit more thought, so maybe once the happy surgery meds will wear off, I should probably tackle that one. That is all my whips, and that's my plans. I have a tiny bit of Stitchy Haul this month. I say a little, I think it's a little. First up, I bought PDF. I've been following this one on Instagram, even though I haven't bought it, but I do now. The Modern Folk Embroidery, as it feels like home, a family patchwork sampler. So that is that one. I followed the hashtag on Instagram and just finally caved in. And my plans are to stitch it on. This is 40 count stone washed. Pretty accurate. It's like a light denim blue. And I'm going to use DMC 3865. So I actually need to go to Michael's today and pick up more thread because Joanne's were out, and I don't think he'll go yet. I'm not desperate enough for thread for him to go shopping for it. Next up, I got another bunch of fabric from Be Stitch Me. The first one is called Frost, and it is a good, that's better. It is just a opal 32 count linen, and it's just like a patchy dirty grey colour. It's beautiful. Yeah, it's a good kind of neutral colour that will go well for like a bunch of things. The next one is a 32 count Lugano that doesn't have a name, and it's opal too, and that is that. It is beautiful. It's like tropical waters, and I love this one, and this will be for something special. I don't know what yet, but it is so pretty. And lastly, I got one of her silks to try. And this is called Evil Queen. You can see that it's all pinks and purples, and this is a 50-yard hank or mini hank. And I was going to use this for pandemic, but yeah, those other colours were just calling in. The fact that I was using the 25 count easy count means that I can rinse it in water, and I don't want to do that with overdyed silk. But that will be used for something special too. Another PDF that I purchased was from, it's my first Papillion Creations chart. It's called, well, being Scottish, if you can't tell by the accent, I had to buy this one. It's a Mary Queen of Scots sampler, and it's got the unicorn and a lot of like nice Quaker emblems. You can download this as a PDF straight from their website. It wasn't expensive at all. And it says in the bottom, in my end is my beginning. Ooh, there you go. And there's the model is stitched up in red. I think I might do mine in blue, just for the Scottish flag. I don't know, I might go off-white with a blue thread, maybe an overdyed blue thread, but no plans when to start that yet. But I had to get it before I forgot about it. Last two things, we are done. I was on Amazon, and they must have had a Dimensions kit sale, or because there was a bunch of them on sale that were in my wish list. And the first one I got was Girl at the Beach. I'm not sure, but I think I actually already have this one, but if I do, I don't know where it is. But I vaguely remember buying this one before. I love that one. And last up is Rocky Point. I've seen this one finished a lot on Instagram, and I had to get it because you know what it's like. Some kits are just harder and harder to get, so I wanted to get it now before it became one of the ones that were harder to track down. And I love the stitching effect of the water break here and the sky. I love this one. And that is it. That is all I've got for you. Hopefully I will have stitching to show you next month, and that I won't be too out of it to stitch because I'm going to be off my foot for a while. But until then, I hope you stay safe, stay well, make the best of it, spend time with your family, and I will see you next month. But thank you for being here, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!